The name of the organization is Oasis Society for Spiritual Health, and we are located in downtown Victoria, and we serve the urban Indigenous community and people living on the street. At Oasis, we think that cultural, spiritual, and community support is just as a basic need as food and housing. So really that's what we try to create in our space in this lovely office here. We try to make it feel welcoming, like warm space where people who are either living on the street or maybe in not as good of an environment as they would like are able to come here and have some smudging, have some cultural food. A lot of times people have seafood here at our community dinner nights, and they haven't had it for many, many years, and they get emotional because it's such a small thing, but it's something that they're not used to. And just feeling protected and cared for by Oasis, because we really call ourselves a community and a family.
This funding was used to help secure a full-time staff position. This staff helps run the Indigenous integrated holistic wellness model. So they run programming almost every day of the week. We do Tuesday community dinners where we have about 25 to 30 people join us. On Wednesdays we do women's group, so it's a range of things where we go for walks on Dallas Road and get lunch after, where we do crafts that focus on culture, such as like beading, doing drum making, rattles. Thursdays is dedicated to the men's group, and Fridays we also have our bingo, which is also a very, very popular event.
I think it just gives that cultural foundation that people need, because there's just the vulnerable are just being preyed upon. I'd say they need a safe place to come to. That's where it starts. It's like an open door to get the help that you need, and they have such a difficulty to ask for help. Sometimes it's just, the kind of help that people need is the advocacy. There's a big gap there. They're afraid to go to health professionals. They're afraid to go to anybody.
We have those personal connections and build relationships. It's not about having, formal client and worker relationships. It's more about, we're all relatives. A lot of the Oasis staff are relatives or related to a lot of the people that we serve, so it's a very interconnected community.
The impact of this funding really just allowed community to come together almost on a daily basis, and I feel like a lot of the community members need space to come to feel safe, to feel seen and valued, and they really built their own community here, which is nice. It's almost like a family relationship almost.
And that's really what Oasis is about, is connecting to their culture, to lost family members, and really connecting them with the community that they haven't had access to. So just things like that, being able to be as accessible as possible for a lot of times older adults is who we serve, and having the technology to be able to expand our outreach has really helped with that. I think it was really important to have Indigenous-led funding. Being able to choose where we put it has really allowed us to have flexibility and helped us adapt to just the ever-changing needs of our community, because a lot of times we think we need it for one thing, and then a lot of times tragedy strikes in the community, and sometimes we need it for something different than what we initially planned. So having funding like this where we are able to use it for something that we plan and that the community asks for feedback on and needs was really helpful. And we think funding like this going forward is really the way future for nonprofits in general, especially Indigenous nonprofits. It's community-led, community-focused, and Indigenous people know themselves best. So